Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So let's continue with our SQL preparation. So as you know that in the previous videos, we have solved an SQL question that was based on the finance department. So the companies which are mostly related to finance domain or banking domain or investment sectors, in those type of companies, what are the possible SQL questions that can be asked? We were solving in the previous videos. So we will continue with the same kind of tables that we have, that is the customers table, accounts table, transactions table, and the loans table. Okay, so we have the four table, and based on the four tables that we are given, we need to solve some basic questions, somewhere around 3 to 4 questions. And these questions will actually test your skills about the fundamentals of SQL, be it datetime functions or the case when statements or the select statements, along with the join ones. All right, so let's go to the notepad. And as you all know that we are first solving the questions in the notepad, followed by which we are copying the code and just pasting it in the MySQL online compiler, which is absolutely free to get the desired output. Okay, so we have written the customers table, we have got the accounts, we have got the transactions, and we have also got the loans. All right. So the first question basically says, find the top three customers with the highest loans. We need to find the customers, those who have the highest loans. So it is quite very evident that it is saying to get the customers. So we will first go to the customers table, and we are also having the loans table also. So we will be joining the two tables, that is the customers table and loans table, and based on the two tables we need to find our requirement. All right, so let's write the code. First we need which table we need the customers table. So customers, let's alias it as C. Then we need to join the particular table with the loans table, let's alias it as L, on what? The common column. What is the common column? Let's see the Excel first. We have the customers table, we have the loans table, and I think, okay, so customer ID and the customer ID here is the common column that is present. All right, so let's go back to notepad. So the basically the common column is the customer ID. So C dot customer underscore ID is equal to L dot customer underscore ID. Perfect. Now what we need the top three customers with the highest loan. So let's see, we need the customer ID. Also we need the customer name, who the particular person has made the transactions, and we need the sum of L dot loan amount. So loan, LOAN, loan underscore amount, and let's alias it as, we can say, total underscore loan amount. So yeah, these three columns we need from the customer C joining loans. And since we have used the aggregated sum function, now we have to use the group by. So group by what? Group by the non-aggregated columns. What are the non-aggregated columns here? The customer ID and customer name. So simply just copy it and paste it. And order by what? Order by the total loan that we have got. And which amount? In which order? We need to order it in descending order. So that's the query. But it is the question is saying we need to find the top three. So simply we can use limit limit 3. So basically limit 3 will give only the top 3 records. If instead of this 3 you could have written any number, only those number of records will be fetched. All right, then that will be our query, and let's copy it to see. And this is our online compiler. Let's paste the code, let's run it. Okay, so we have got the customer ID 1, his name is John Smith, the loan amount is 50,000. Another, we have customer ID 4 and customer ID 2, which are Emma Davis and J Doe. All right, then we have got the successful output for the first question. Now let's jump back to our second question. Okay, so second question basically says deposit versus withdrawal trends. So basically the question says we need to compare the total deposit and the total withdrawal amounts for each customer. Okay, so the question is actually up quite Good one, I should say. Okay, so let's write the query, and okay, so now we need the tables from the columns for the multiple tables. So first see from which tables we need. We need from customers table, customer C, let's alias it as C. Then we need to join on accounts table, let's alias it as A. On what? C dot customer ID is equal to A dot customer ID. C dot customer underscore ID is equal to A dot customer underscore ID. Then again we need to join that particular output that will be get on the transactions column. Transactions, and let's alias it as T on let's say A dot account underscore ID is equal to T dot account underscore ID, that is the common column present in both the tables. Perfect. Now what are the things we need? We need to compare it. That is, we need to find the sum of amount for the deposit and the sum of amount for the withdrawal. So let's select we need the customer underscore, sorry for the spelling mistake, customer underscore ID comma C dot name, that is customer underscore name. And now we will use the sum and the case when statement, that is sum of case when, it is basically works as an if else statement, when T dot transaction type is equal to deposit, then we need to find the T dot amount. T dot amount, else let's keep it as 0, because if we sum the 0 then it will give us 0 only. Now let's end it and alias it as total deposits, total underscore deposits. Okay, so similarly you will have to do for the withdrawal. So you can just simply copy it, we can simply copy it, Control C, and we can simply paste it, and instead of this deposit we need to write withdrawal. So withdrawal, AWL, and let's alias it as total withdrawals. Okay, perfect. And I think since we have used the sum function here, that is an aggregator function, now we have to use the group by. Group by what? Group by the columns which are non-aggregated, that is the customer ID and the customer name, which are non-aggregated columns. So simply copy and paste it, and yeah, I think this is how the code should be. Let's check it. Let's copy the code, let's go to our compiler, let's uncomment it, and let's paste this particular code. Okay, let's run it to see whether we're getting the perfect output or not. So yeah, we have got the perfect output. We have got the total deposits and the total withdrawals. And I think if you can see once again that for the customer ID 1, it is John Smith, total deposits is 12,000, deposits is 0. Jane Doe has 10,000, deposit is 0. Mike Johnson has no deposit and no withdrawal, and similarly for Emma and Liam. Perfect. So we have got the successful output. Now let's jump back to the last question. Identify the inactive customers. What do you mean by inactive customers? So we need to list the customers who haven't performed any transaction. Transactions basically says any kind of deposit or withdrawal. So that particular customer has not done any kind of transaction for the last 1 year. Perfect. So here this actually test our date functions. And all right. So from which table we need? We need the customers. Let's alias it as C. Then let's left join it with the accounts table. Accounts, let's alias it as A on C dot customer underscore ID is equal to A dot customer underscore ID. Then again we need to left join the transaction table. Sorry guys, transactions, and I think I've got some mistakes, spelling mistakes. Okay, we'll see that later. Transaction, let's see it as T on A dot account underscore ID is equal to T dot account ID. Now, what is the condition? That that particular have not done any kind of transaction. So first of all, let's take the columns. We need what? We need the customer name and customer ID. So C dot customer underscore name, comma C dot I think we got some mistakes. C dot name only. And first we need to make C dot customer underscore ID and C dot name. Now we have to left join it on this, and the condition is that the transaction date is either null, that is T dot transaction underscore date is null, or T dot transaction underscore date should not have any transaction in the last year. That is, we have to use the date underscore sub function, and inside this we have to pass today's date, that is current date, comma interval what 1 year. We need to specify yeah, whether it is year or month. Okay, so I think this is what the query should be. Let's copy it and paste it in our compiler. Perfect. Let's uncomment the previous code and let's write the new code. Let's run it. Fingers crossed, guys. So it is saying a table transactions does not exist. Okay, so it should be tran. Let's copy it from here. I think there is some spelling mistake, that's why it was not taking. It should take. So yeah, it is giving the customer ID and the name who has not done any kind of transaction for the last year. If we use the distant keyword, then we can get rid of the duplicate records. Perfect. So this is how we actually solve three important questions, and these three questions are of kind of medium level, I should say, and are very good questions which test your SQL skills. And this is of course not an easy level questions which is basically asked in the round 1 interviews. You can expect to get these kind of questions in round 2 or round 3 interviews for the data analyst or business analyst, or any kind of role where SQL is involved, like data administrator or data engineer profile also. And these kind of questions are generally asked in the finance companies like Wells Fargo, Citi, Barclays, Goldman Sachs. And for these questions you need to practice also. Don't worry about it, I will come up with more such videos in the near future. Till then, keep loving, keep subscribing the channel, and share the video with someone who is actually preparing for data analyst interview, guys. Till then, happy learning, guys.